Good morning. It has been a while since my classroom setup videos, and I just was looking through the other day and realized that I never did a final classroom setup or classroom tour. So it is January 17th today, so I figured no better time than the middle of the year to give you a classroom tour. But just a warning, this video will probably take place over the span of a few days because I'd like to give an in-depth tour of my room, and I'm just going to do that whenever I have time, either before school or after school. So you'll probably see me in different outfits in different areas of the classroom. But yeah, I'd like to give you a look around my classroom. So first things first, I'm sitting at my desk. Now in my classroom setup series, I decided not to have a teacher desk. It was the first year that I decided to do that. Last year I had a desk, but I had support in my room and she kind of sat at the desk. I didn't really use it. So I figured, you know what? I never really used my desk other than for storage. So let's try not having one. And it was fine without a teacher desk, but I'm definitely a person that likes to have one. I don't sit at it much throughout the day. But like when the kids come in the morning and all they want to do is chat to you, I like to be at my desk so that I have my own personal space instead of just all the kids crowded around me. And it's also just great after school or during prep time to have everything in one organized area. And like on those days where I need a bunch of piles out, the piles are not on my table when I'm doing small groups. They're at my desk. So I like having a teacher desk. More power to the people that don't need them and can use that space for student-centered things, but I have my desk in the back corner of the room, well, the front corner, but it's tucked away, just a small space for me, and I feel like I need it. I enjoy having it, so yeah. So let's start here. So this is what my classroom looks like at the end of the year. Just an overview of the room. All right, so I'm just going to turn the lights on. Okay. So first things first, since the start of the year, not much has changed in my room. Still have my table over here, my Paras round table, the back of the room. The only thing that's really different is that I do have a teacher desk now. I thought at the start of the year that I could do without one, but as the year went on, I really just wanted my own space, mainly for storage of things. But also just a separate space to work at the end of the day or before school, or even sometimes when the kids are working and I just need a moment. So in my desk area, I have cabinet storage right here, which is where I keep cleaning supplies, tissues. Oh, looks like things have fallen down, but storage of all of that. Up top, we have our maps. And then this is a reward system that we do at our school. So with our math curriculum, the kids earn celebrations if they level up. So here's my prize box. In here, they can choose from sweet treats. And then I just keep anything I need to build birthday bags in here. And then behind my desk, I have these shelves. Now, these are my teacher binders where I keep curriculum materials, multiplication fluency sheets, things I need for reading groups, books I don't use as often, some extra sweet treats here, more curriculum material, and then things I don't need to access, obviously, as often are way up top. And then these are some student supplies. Now you may be wondering why they're behind my desk area. These are supplies that I don't want the students accessing all day, every day, like crayons and pencils I have over on the other side of the room for kids to grab whenever they need them. But like markers, scissors, glue sticks especially, they just don't need access to those unless they are doing a project that involves these materials. So I keep them behind my desk and we just grab them when we need them. Now, if a kid needs a highlighter or a pen for an activity, they can just ask me, and 90% of the time I will say, yes, just go grab it behind my desk. But at least they're not out, because that's how materials quickly disappear and get lost, and they're not used at the right times. Down here, I've got some curriculum books, some flashcards. I have milk crates right here. I do have 4. I just have the 4th one at home because I was going through some data. And then my desk area. Now I keep it pretty clear because I actually really love to sit on top of my desk while I'm teaching, especially while I'm doing our U-Fly slides for reading groups. I just like to sit right on top of the desk, click through my screens, and get a really good view of the room when I do that. And it's a nice, comfortable place to sit where I have a good view of the students and I'm sitting up high. Now our carpet area and our IKEA Trofast bin. So this is the most used area of our classroom. It's my favorite area. So we have our Clear Touch, which I do use all day, every day, teach from it. I have daily slides that I use, so to keep myself and the students on track, I love using the Clear Touch. Below, I have a milk crate with whiteboards and clipboards. Now my students all have their own whiteboard in their desk, but I have some extras in there, and then clipboards for activities when we're doing like Write the Room or scavenger hunts, or even if they're just working at the carpet. And then in here, I have reading group kits. We actually switch classrooms for reading groups. So I get some kids from the other 3rd grade classes, so they each have their own kits in there. And then my beloved Trofast bins. So we do math centers in our school where we do the MATH model. M is meet with the teacher, A is at your seat, T technology, and H hands-on. So when the kids come to the hands-on center, they come right to the carpet. Oh gosh, dirty. And I always have our activity for the day in this bin, the Math Center H activity. And then they just turn anything in right here for math centers. But the great thing about having these bins right here is, say they need counters or dice or base 10 blocks for their center, it's just all right here. I don't have to have it prepped in their kit for the day. It's just all right here, and they grab whatever they need. And sometimes they'll grab materials that I didn't even plan on them using. Like kids were using Unifix cubes the other day. And that wasn't what I intended for that activity, but they needed the extra manipulatives for their activity, so they were able to grab those. Got counting bears and squares, connecting cubes, attribute blocks. Also just have some indoor recess items, but they've been really, really good about not grabbing those during math center time. And my table is also right here, so I can keep a close eye on them. Base 10 blocks, fraction building, dominoes, and then all of my math games that I have prepped throughout the years. So I use these, let's see one that we use a lot, like these zip pouches that I got, I believe, from Amazon, and I just have the labels from Target that I printed. So all of our math games are in here. And again, I always just put the activity for the day in this bin. So I will take them out of here and put them in the Math Center H activity bin But again, if it's a Friday and they kind of have free choice, they're able to grab from here, and it's nice and easily accessible. So these have been amazing. And another thing that has been great for math centers is last year when we did math centers, very similar model, I would have the kids bring whiteboard markers or pencils or whatever they needed over to the carpet. And it worked for most kids, but you know, there were always kids who would forget to bring something. So this year I just have a caddy with pencils, markers, erasers. They never have to bring anything when they come to Math Center H. They just grab whatever they need from right here. And that could include clipboards as well. So it's nice that it's all right in one spot. So now taking a peek at our whiteboard, I have my math bulletin board right here, which again is great because this is really our, even though this is our carpet area, we mainly use it for math. So everything math related is right here. And I have our skip counting numbers right there, right next to my table. So it's kind of like our math area. And we have our calendar, which again is math related because we do calendar every single morning. Even if we spend 3 to 5 minutes on it, we go through the calendar, go through the days of the week. I normally have the date written right here, but it's April vacation. We count how many days we've been in school. We do hundreds, tens, and ones. And we talk about 10 more, 10 less, 100 more, 100 less. So kind of building in math in our morning meeting every day. Here's our schedule. I don't do student jobs in my room, although maybe something to reconsider for future years, but I do have a student teacher of the day and they just kind of do all of the jobs. They lead calendar, get to lead the line, pass out papers, anything I need help with. Now I have these books blocking the kids' names, but I have all of the kids' names behind here. You can kind of see them poking out. I printed them and put them on magnetic tape, and their names are right there, and you'll see I have green light, yellow light, red light system for when I'm at my small group table. If I'm sitting at the table, 90% of the time, probably 95% of the time, it's on yellow, which means take your name, move it under here, and just wait your turn. That could be me calling the students up in 30 seconds. That could be in 5 minutes. It could be when my group is all over, but wait your turn. So they'll just take their magnetic name, put it here. There's already a name. They just kind of keep building. And then these magnets I use when we have a writing prompt that we are working on. So right now we're not in the middle of one, which is why the magnets are just up here. But normally what I'll do is I will write on the board like haven't started, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, all done. And I'll actually put the pages up there for the writing process, and the kids can move them as they go. So I can kind of check in and see, well, if a student was absent or they just needed more time, where are they in the writing process? So I can check in with them a bit more. And then normally I have their spelling words up on the board as well. And our class read aloud, right now we're reading The Wild Robot. I do student versus teacher. And then every morning we play a game. Right now we're playing Mystery Student. So I had a leaderboard up there, but I just erased the names for confidentiality. So then coming over to my small group area, I have a nice horseshoe table, and I got these wobbly stools this year from another teacher. The only thing I would suggest is I really should have put a rug down. I did not know that they would basically ruin the floors, so sorry about that. But the kids love the wobbly stools. They work great for this table and allow us to move all around. And then I just have a cart over here I got these attachable bins on the side for our expo markers, erasers, flashcards, Unifix cubes, pens, pencils, everything we need. And then right next to my table, you'll notice I have some pieces of paper here. That's because these are the students' math binders and they have their names right on the bindings. So obviously I needed to block those. And then every day, these are where the kids put their take-home folders. I have 1 through 11 in here and 12 through 22 in here because I have 22 students. Right now I have their cursive folders in there because, again, it's April vacation and I am currently prepping their cursive folders. So I just threw those in there for now. So every morning they come in and they put their take-home folders in here, and every afternoon they bring them home. That way if I need to put pages in them or they need to put pages in them, they can grab them. And their math binders, again, are right there. Looks a little silly, but nice and easy to access right next to my table. And these are our classroom library shelves. So this was a big project for me, my first and second year of teaching. The teacher before me left a ton of books, which was amazing. I mean, it is amazing. I really shouldn't complain, but it was a lot to organize and it literally took me 2 years. So I just had them sorted by genre, subject, and then most of the chapter books, unless I have like a full series, they just say chapter books. And this has worked out great. These bins are amazing. They're nice and deep. These shelves are deep. They hold a ton of books. The pink ones were already here when I moved into, not this classroom, but my first classroom at this school. And I just got the white ones. And this has worked out great. Of course, there are some kids who put the books back where they're not supposed to, but generally most books make it back to where they need to go. Speaking of, if they don't know, they can just come put it right in the book return. These are our curriculum readers. And then at the top of the bookshelves is kind of like our student area. I was talking earlier about how I have some materials behind my desk over there, but then the ones that the kids can access all day, every day, are here. So sharpen pencils needs to be sharpened. And then this is honestly just kind of like a lost and found. Definitely could do a better job with that next year. Crayons, kids can grab these whenever. Scrap paper, which is something new I did this year. So if I ever have extra copies of things, or even if I just have extra like construction paper, I'll throw it in here for the kids to do artwork with. Because if I put blank paper out, or lined paper, or writing paper, it quickly disappears, as you can see. So having a kit of scrap paper has worked out great because they just love to doodle whenever they have a free moment. This is for one of my reading groups. They work independently 4 days a week and just meet with me 1 day a week. So since I only get to meet with them 1 day a week, they have folders for their independent work throughout the other 4 days. Writing folders, which is something new I have done this year. In past years, I have had the kids keep their writing folders at their desk when we're working on a multi-day writing prompt, but I've found that kids lose papers, they misplace things, they don't know where their writing folders are. So this year, I have them keep their writing folders right in this bin when we are working on a writing prompt. And that way I can open them up after the school day or anytime throughout the school day, see what they're working on, and everything is in one spot and nothing gets lost. Our turn-in bin, unfinished work bin, and then homework bin, which yes, I do give homework. It's normally just spelling homework that I give once a week, and they have all week to complete it. Get the homework on Mondays. It's due on Friday. More just to keep them accountable and to learn some responsibility. Back here is the favorite corner of the classroom. This is our quiet corner, our calm corner. And now coming back here, this is our quiet corner, our calm corner. It's definitely the favorite corner to work in the classroom. Kids just sit on the ground on the puzzle pieces with the pillows, and they are perfectly content and happy. And it actually works out great if a student needs a moment to calm down. I didn't even tell them this. They just started doing it. They'll open the Chromebook cart, so it's kind of blocked off back here, and they'll just sit and they'll take their moment, and they're pretty good about just coming back when they are ready. I've only had to talk to students once or twice this whole school year, so about coming back to their seats. This is kind of my catch-all shelf right here. This is where I have chapter books that I have multiple copies of. So I keep them back there so that they don't get mixed up with the rest of our chapter books. I have some extra math games that don't really fit in our IKEA shelves. So again, on the days where we go to use those, I'll just put them up at the front of the room in the Math Center H bin. Got some extra books. I have a ton of books. Some more games, some I Spy. It truly is just, it's like my Monica shelf, this shelf. Just got everything that I kind of want hidden, but don't want to get rid of. And extra puzzle pieces for the kids to grab. Now right here is our Chromebook cart. We share it with the classroom next to us. So the bottom row is for my students, and then I have extra Chromebooks on top, ones that won't fit. And then this is our pencil sharpener. It's one of the only spaces where I have a plug. So it goes here. Over here, the kids' hooks. One of the things that happened with the new construction was that they put hooks in the classrooms instead of out in the hallway. And I have to say, I'm not a fan. It just takes away space from the classroom and it looks really cluttered. I will say the kids have been really good about not getting up to go to their backpacks or their coats. I kind of set that precedent at the beginning of the year. You don't get up to grab anything unless you raise your hand and ask. But still, it's just not my favorite. I think maybe in future years I'll put furniture in front of it to kind of block it off because it just always ends up looking so cluttered. Got another little desk over here for kids to use when they need a moment. At my closet. So this is something I organized last year as well. You'll see I have I have the months. So November, December, January, and I have any seasonal books that I might read and any activities to go with them. On the other side of the file cabinet, I have my student check-in system. I'm not going to show you the side, but I basically have absent, present, bathroom nurse with another teacher, and dismissed early. And again, the kids' names are on magnet tape, and they just move those whenever they are moving outside of the classroom. Now over here is another bulletin board. I use this mainly for ELA, which includes science and social studies. Right now it's a little bare, but we're going to be switching units soon, so I will be updating that. Another table for students to sit at. And then back around the room. I have my kids in groups, and most of the time I love having groups. Just provides more space, allows them to work collaboratively. This crew actually does a really good job of being quiet and working independently when they need to. So groups hasn't really been an issue. And it is nice on the days where maybe it is an issue. I'll just say, you need to take your things and go sit at the desk in the back for the day, or for 20 minutes, and normally that helps, and then they can get back to their groups. So yeah. Got my alphabet above. I do have the kids write words, almost like a little word wall, just tricky words that they often get stuck on. And that is about it.